ask that you take this matter seriously.
The only matter I do not take seriously, boy, is you.
Okay, besties, we need to talk. The MCU is finally dipping its toes into darker, spookier waters with Agatha all along and Deadpool and Wolverine. But let's be real, there are some Marvel villains that are just way too terrifying for our PG-13, quippy superhero universe, like actual nightmare fuel. If Marvel ever went full horror, these are the villains that would send kids running out of theaters. And honey, trust me, some of these are straight out of your worst dreams. Welcome back to Holly Molly, your one-stop shop for all the juiciest Hollywood tea. We're kicking this off with two characters that could literally be the It and the Babadook of Marvel. Mr. Smile, he's this terrifying, gaunt creature with the biggest, creepiest grin you've ever seen. And Mr. Sulk, a massive, featureless brute that just screams silent horror movie monster. The only way they make it into the MCU is if Marvel goes full-blown psychological horror. Imagine Doctor Strange walking into a mirror dimension and boom, these two are just standing there. Next, Madcap is like if the Joker and Deadpool had a demon baby and let it loose on New York City. He's got a healing factor, but that's not even the worst part. He can literally drive people insane just by looking at them. And in some comics, his victims lose their minds so bad that they, don't make it. Marvel would have to tone this dude down, but if they kept him full crazy, we'd be looking at some R-rated nightmare fuel. The Xenomorph knockoffs of Marvel, the brood don't just kill their victims, they implant eggs inside them. And when the baby brood hatches, the host is fully aware while their body transforms into an alien horror. James Gunn loves weird creatures, so maybe he'd bring them in for the X-Men, but these things would need a major redesign because right now, they're straight up nightmare fuel. Okay, hear me out. Arcade is basically Jigsaw, but if he was a flamboyant red-haired game show host, he kidnaps superheroes and throws them into a deadly amusement park called Murder World. His whole thing is creating elaborate traps that are as theatrical as they are horrifying. If Marvel ever did a horror/thriller movie, this guy would be the main villain. But let's be real, right now, he's way too Saw meets Willy Wonka for the MCU. If you have trypophobia, look away. Styx is literally a walking corpse with the ability to rot anything he touches. Plants, animals, people. You so much as breathe near him and boom, you're dead. He'd be perfect for a Sam Raimi horror-style Spider-Man movie. Imagine Tom Holland's Spidey having to fight a zombie that instantly kills whatever he touches. Okay, so imagine you inject yourself with some random animal DNA and suddenly your skin starts peeling off, revealing a monstrous bulletproof armadillo man underneath. He constantly sheds his skin, looks horrifying. It's giving The Fly meets Hellraiser, and there's no way Marvel puts this thing in a PG-13 movie. If you're scared of spiders, I am so sorry. The Thousand is a guy who eats the radioactive spider that bit Peter Parker. Instead of getting Spidey powers, his body is taken over by thousands of tiny spiders that crawl into people's bodies and control them like puppets. Imagine watching someone's eyes roll back and burst open with tiny spiders. You're welcome for the nightmares. This guy had his skin peeled off as part of a scientific experiment, but guess what? He lived, and his muscles and tendons, they move around and strangle people. He is literally a walking skinless monster. I'm pretty sure if Marvel ever adapted him, they'd have to keep him in the shadows, because he's way too gory for a Disney movie. Y'all thought Green Goblin was bad? Try Demon Green Goblin. Demo Goblin is what happens when Hobgoblin merges with a literal demon. He flies on a fiery bat, throws pumpkin bombs that spread despair, and wants to cleanse the world of sinners. Like, imagine Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, but make him a horror movie monster. And the #1 villain who will never make it into the MCU, Carrion. This dude is literally a living plague. He can spread disease just by being in the same room as you, and if he touches you, you turn to dust. Like fully Thanos snapped, but no coming back. Imagine a villain who could wipe out entire cities by accident. Marvel's never gonna touch this guy, and that's the list. Marvel's been getting a little darker lately, but let's be real. Most of these villains are never making it into the MCU. Like, do we really think Disney is ready for a Saw movie starring Spider-Man? But tell me, who would you want to see in a future Marvel horror project? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time for more Hollywood tea.